Shut up and sit down.
No, we're going. We'll just go with that sound check.
Oh, okay.
Is that cool? 3, 2, 1. And we're pre-recording live. Welcome to Thinking Out Loud. I'm your host, as always, Sam Bradley. Today we're talking deep cuts, MMA, really, not even just the UFC. I'm joined by the mighty Rob Hughes. How you doing, sir?
I'm very good. How are you, sir?
I'm good, yeah. We got a new recording set up, Rob.
I know. I'm liking this. I'm relaxed.
You're ready to go. You're ready to chill. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Where else to start but UFC 212?
Oh yeah.
What do you think overall of
It was a very good card.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I was going into it overshadowing because I was always just thinking. I was thinking straight away for the next one. I was thinking 213 already because there is a lot of good fights in 212, but for me, there's so many that I'm looking forward to seeing it at 213.
Okay.
That but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Some good fights. The main card was absolutely phenomenal to watch.
It was a really good string of fights.
Yeah. There was a lot of good combinations between people.
Seems like the UFC is getting their shit back
really well together.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like the UFC is getting their shit back together in terms of putting really decent lineups together.
Yeah.
Instead of 3 main card fights you don't want to pay for, and then 2 relatively good fights.
And they're mixing up the weight classes. That's what I'm liking to see. Although obviously they do sort of specialise of whatever the main card, the title fight is going to be. They sort of do a couple more of those sort of rounds. But they're starting to get in. It's not you're just sort of seeing a load of lightweights, a load of middleweights, and a load of heavyweights. You're seeing good female cards every single time.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing
great fights in the prelims.
You're seeing flyweights as well. I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw a flyweight on a main card when it wasn't Demetrius. When we weren't having a champ. Which I want to see more of. More of Mighty Mouse.
You're seeing great fighters in the prelims. Sorry, I was talking over you there a little bit.
No.
In the prelims, you're seing stuff like Eddie Alvarez and
that was a big drop, but it worked perfectly. And the main card that was 211, wasn't it? But the main card was still fantastic. So it's not like he was being put down in any way because his wasn't good. It's just they had so many amazing matches in the end. Even obviously with Khabib Ferguson being dropped.
Yeah.
It was still, who they had to take over.
Calvello.
Yeah. And, it ended up being a fantastic card. And UFC has definitely come a really long way on that.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm loving seeing it.
Yeah, it's it's nice to see it, excuse me, any sport growing. Any sport that you love grow.
Yeah.
It's nice that it's got the popularity and there are more fighters that are starting to be known outside of the UFC.
Yeah.
Not to your Connors or your... I think maybe young Jacek's there.
She's coming close.
Cerrone's coming there.
Nunes is starting to get there. I've seen a lot more sort of traffic about her.
Yeah.
Well, obviously,
Should we address that?
We don't want to say it's just because... Just because she battered the hell out of Rousey, but it's people have seen that she's taken down a superstar, and they're going back and they're seeing that she's taken down people like Durandamy.
Yeah,
who was the first lightweight champion that we've had as for the females. Featherweight. Yeah. And and it's the first time we're seeing those sort of rounds, and it's absolutely fantastic.
It is,
because people have gone back and seen that she's not just a one hit. Although it was her first defense, she has had some staggering fights.
Do you think that they're trying to set up now? Nunes is suddenly a big thing, and they realise that they didn't do the promotions right coming up to Nunes versus Rousey.
Yeah.
Do you think they're now trying to create a bit of narrative for her because it's a second fight with Shevchenko? Maybe like a trilogy thing.
I was going to say, this is a return fight.
Say that, I know we will get back to UFC 212, but looking forward to UFC 213, that's the main card fight. That is the main fight.
Yeah.
Shevchenko versus Nunes too.
For me, it's the
okay, but on the night, that's the main card.
100%, and it's going to be a staggering fight. Again, it's a return fight from... I mean, Nunes is an absolute beast. She's got a reach advantage. She's got a height advantage going into this.
She's also got incredible power. But
Shevchenko has probably the best mix of of arts coming in together.
She bounces as well.
She's an internationally recognised master of kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai. She's a black belt in judo, and she's got a second dan in taekwondo. She is someone who has probably the most amount of recognition in individual sports of anyone in the UFC that I've seen.
Yeah, I would go with that. I'm trying to think in the men's. Because you get guys that do maybe one tournament and then come in.
You look at Romero, who is a wrestling champion, Pan American wrestling champion.
Wonder Boy was kickboxer.
Ronda Rousey was taekwondo Olympic medalist, bronze. I think it was in 2008.
No, possibly.
And it was I think the first medal the American women have ever got in the sport.
No way.
And Damian Maia, a fantastic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert, and probably one of the most successful UFC fighters before joining UFC. I think he probably had the most shining career.
Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think Shevchenko, she took a real beating the first time out.
Yeah.
But she bounced, she slipped out of what looked like 2 or 3 really aggressive takedowns and submission. I remember there was one where Nunes had the jaw, and they go in for the under neck and they get the jaw. Pulling, bloodied up, couldn't breathe, still managed to pop out, slip back in, managed to reverse it and finish the first round, I think it was, on top of Nunes.
Yeah.
So I think she's a great fighter, but I think Nunes will run away with this.
Yeah,
I think she's going to I think she'll put a clinic on her.
She's the fastest striker we've seen in that division. She's got a decent takedown defense. Not great at taking down itself, but she's pretty handy on the floor. She's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She can take someone's back and choke them out and submit.
Yeah,
if she wanted to. But Shevchenko, like you say, was fantastic at just finding her way, just to slightly take the advantage in that tumble and I'm looking forward to it as a fight.
Yeah, I think we're going to find out if the Rousey knockout was Aldo 2.0, if you know what I mean, in terms of was it a freak result against the champion that pings the victor up into higher echelons. I don't think it was.
No.
I think there's a lot more subtlety to the way Nunes beat Rousey than the way Conor just cracked Aldo.
Yeah. I think it was... It definitely wasn't a fluke in her taking down Rousey. I think she was much, much better prepared. She was fit, she was in good condition, whereas Rousey just didn't have any of that. There was no luck about it. She was the better fighter.
Yeah. I think Rousey's really suffered from that head kick, though.
Yeah, I think psychologically, I think she's definitely taken a hit.
All the way up and down. Psychologically, physically, I would say that I think she's donezo.
No, 100%. She's not going to be making a return to UFC, I don't think. If it is, it's just going to be sort of legacy fights.
Yeah, farewell fight. Yeah, I totally get that. So who does Nunes fight next? Holly Holm?
Holly Holm has now returned.
Yeah. It's got to be, because it sure as hell isn't going to be Patsy
Durandamy might even be coming back down.
Durandamy not
going to shit. I think she could come back down.
Yeah, she could.
Because she's never gonna go up and try and go against Cyborg after 214.
No way.
She's already mentioned that she would never even risk going into that fight. So I think Durandamy's only way to go down, as Cyborg will be, because they said she's gonna win that. Sure. I think the only way for her to go is down, and the only way for her to go is bantamweight.
So you think she'd take on Nunes?
I don't think Nunes straight away. Maybe a pre-fight against say Shevchenko.
But mind you, the UFC don't want fucking anything to do with Katzengarner after this Reebok business. Did you see that on?
I haven't
Instagram?
seen much. It's the sponsorship stuff, isn't it?
They went off to some athlete's retreat.
Okay, yeah, no, but
and they all got like a 50%, like a half off whatever you order on Reebok, and she Instagram or tweeted it somewhat ironically, saying like, "Oh wow, that's so generous." You know,
this wasn't. I do. You could definitely take that as being sarcastic and whatnot, but I wouldn't guarantee it.
I don't know, man. Reebok get a pretty rum deal. Like they give the UFC a pretty rum deal.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, why they've taken over all the sponsorship for all the clothes and like all the mistakes they make. Like you see those T-shirts that had like Anderson Aldo or something.
Yeah.
It's just embarrassing. And I don't know why, like in football, soccer, for anyone listening in America, you can't just have mixed sponsorships. You have the Barclays Premier League playing at the Emirates Stadium.
Okay, yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Against Man United, who have Chrysler on them, but Nike make the kits. I don't get why you can't have that in UFC. Sure, and that would address some of the pay deficit in fighters' wages.
I think it's more that Reebok got in so early and started backing it that they just got themselves a very, very good deal that they were going to be the sole providers and all
for X amount of years.
For X amount of years, because I think they had enough faith in it that they were going to back this new upcoming promotion on the basis that it was going to succeed and they were going to gain a lot from it. I think at some point in the future we will definitely start seeing cross-sponsorship and more people will be able to come in on that. But obviously, you still have people like Budweiser that specifically
sponsor fighters,
but they also obviously then sponsor entire events as well.
Yeah.
So there is a
Metro
case of
PCS.
that. Yeah.
5 minutes can save you God knows how many. Hey, it's in there. This bud's for you. It works.
This bud's for you. It's just amazing when Bud
that always makes me
this bud's for you. I want a Bud now. I don't even like lager, but I want a Bud.
Or when he has to read out like the synopsis of a movie. Arrival. Are they here in peace or are they here in hate? So
hello, in space for 70 years. It's passengers.
It's fucking great, isn't it? Oh, I love.
It's not even good movies either.
No, man. Nothing good ever sponsors the UFC. Except
UFC 2, the game.
Yeah, the game that they haven't brought out a sequel to in 2 years.
They need to.
They need to.
I love that game. I love UFC 2. It was absolutely
what
amazing.
Kind of fighter are you? I presume you play the career mode because you're a fan just like me.
Yeah, I do. No, I have a light heavyweight guy who's a bit of a BJJ, but boxing expert. Doesn't do much with the legs, but he can take you down.
So he's like Rumble.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm fighting a light heavyweight on the game at the minute. I had to take down Rumble, and I had to outbox him. It was horrible. My fingers were bleeding. It was awful.
And what sort of fighter do you have?
I got Kickboxer, who's also really good at ground and pound in case shit gets leery. It's a fucking good game. It's a dope game. I love it.
It's fantastic.
So what else? So let's go down now the main card at 213. Romero Whittaker. We actually we actually have a question on this. Someone sent in. Thanks to Tom Firth Jones on Facebook, which is cool. Tom. He asks if Whittaker versus Romero is actually the fight for who's the best in the division.
I think it is. Yes, Bisping is a great fighter, but if you're going to go and actively avoid your number one contender
for so long, book another fight, be fine with that, but when the guy pulls out and you're guaranteed to go against the number one, pull out again because you got a bad knee. It's looking a bit weird to me. It's a bit shaky, isn't it?
So yes, he is or was a great fighter, but he's not now, and it's because of the knee. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not getting at him because of that. But don't try and make out you're fine. Book fight and then duck someone when it doesn't go your way.
There you go, kids. There you go.
So I genuinely do think out of the people other than probably Rockhold, I think
you really like Rockhold, don't you?
He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's had some good matches against Bisping, and he could potentially be another pretty decent champion in himself. But
you think?
I want Romero up there right now.
Yeah, I get you.
And then if Bisping really does think he is that champion, then I think he will happily come and take either Romero or Whittaker. Personally, I think it's going to be Romero.
Yeah.
The stats say otherwise.
Well, this is a really funny thing that producer Lawrence just thrown up on the screen. Jacare Souza reckons Romero's going to beat Whittaker as well.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
Epic.
Let's scroll down that.
I'm fine with that. He's had some great fights. He's undefeated in what? Last 4 matches? Yeah.
Who's that?
Undefeated. He's 13-1, 11 KOs, 2 decisions. And he's undefeated in his last 8-9 matches. I think since coming to the middleweight, I'm pretty sure he fought maybe light heavy or wet or something like that. And he transitioned into the middleweight and he's been undefeated since he's got there. And he's a fantastic fighter. 100%. His brother is a cruiserweight world champion boxer.
Yeah, he's a really good boxer.
So he has a very good ground game. He has a very good striking game.
What was the
try and improve his BJ. He's done a bit on BJJ, but if he can bring that up to a much better level, he's had nothing at the moment by submission.
I'd love to see him get the belt.
I would love to see him take a belt. I would love to see him pick up some BJJ work.
Yeah,
and I'd love to see him become that massively all round fighter.
Yeah, I think he can as well. He's how old is Yoel Romero? Producer Lauren? He's not young, is he?
No, I'm pretty sure he's early 30s.
I love you,
good Jesus.
Oh, no, you're Romero. I think I'm going to go 34. What do you think?
I'm thinking 32.
Has he just seen the screen?
40.
40? Whoa!
Holy fuck, we were way out.
Wow, he is great for 40.
He's God. I wish I looked like that now. God, he's
I do as well.
He's a machine. He needs to get
considering
shit
the size
together.
of my belly, it's anything's an improvement. Even look like you.
He needs to get his shit together and get that belt.
Yeah, I think he's got it down. He's looking great in some of his in his training videos. He's looking like he's on top form physically. He's looking at his peak. I think he's looking comfortable.
Yeah.
He's looking confident, and I think he's in a good mindset to take this belt.
This fight reminds me of the last time Damian Maia fought against Jorge Masvidal.
Masvidal, yeah.
Where you had a world-class, fantastic boxer versus an absolutely incredible
BJJ
wrestler.
expert.
And it was just like, okay, is his boxing better than his wrestling? And Maia obviously came out on top. And I think that's the same question.
Jiu-jitsu, my jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Well, all right, ground game,
yeah.
Call it then. I think that's the same thing as you've got with Romero and Whittaker here. Whittaker is an incredible striker.
Yeah.
Yoel is a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah.
And it's
striker though.
Yeah.
He's got really
maybe
strong
that's it.
striking
Maybe
game.
it's that his boxing is going to be better than Whittaker's wrestling.
I mean, he's got
perhaps
fantastic takedown defense.
Yep.
And takedown success. He's similar. Takedown success 46%. So which is pretty high in comparison. I think it's probably one of the highest in the middleweight.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got probably the highest strike success rate in middleweight.
Yeah.
You know, and he's got great upper body movement. He's got great avoidance.
Mm-hmm.
And he can avoid pretty much any takedown going.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, Donald Cerrone versus
it's not off. It's not
Robbie
off.
Lawler's been. Well, the latest we've heard is that it's been pushed back to 240.
It will be 240
because I think it's just that Donald Cerrone had a staph infection.
Yeah.
Which is what took a lot of energy out of Conor, although he wouldn't say it at the time. It's the first time he lost to Diaz.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I'm just floating the theory, but it's the same illness anyway.
Yeah.
So that's been put back. I really like Cowboy for that fight.
It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be the best one of the summer for me. It's going to be hilarious to watch.
If Cerrone can keep his movement, and stay out of Lawler's way, but hit him on the way in and then ping back out, I think Cerrone could drop him.
We're going to see a lot of banter between them because
Cerrone's such a good guy. He's so cool.
He's always just taking the piss.
Yeah, man.
His way of announcing that he was back on is this redneck don't run away from no fight or something like that, wasn't it? And it's some pesky illness wasn't going to keep me down.
Yeah, because he still really wanted to fight at 213.
Oh, 100%. He was still well up for it. He was like, I'm only going to be out for like 6 days. Leave me to do it.
Yeah.
And Dana was just like, no, it's going to take you a couple of weeks to recover.
Cerrone's coming off that TKO. I'll start that again. Cerrone's coming off a TKO to Jorge Masvidal. There you go. Got it out of that.
Yeah.
That was a really bad fight. I say it every time we talk about Donald. He shouldn't have taken that fight just to be in front of his home crowd. 6 weeks after. No, son.
It does go with his whole idea.
Yeah, well, someone in his camp or his team should have said, "Pump the brakes."
Yeah,
think about the long game. You know, at the time he was 31-7 or 32-7, and then not a bad record. 32-8
could have been in some decent championship bouts as well.
Yeah, I don't know how he hasn't been put into the mixer.
Yeah.
I don't know how he hasn't been put into the mixer. Lawler is like 27-11, so not that great a record, but he does have that left-right that he can just drop you with.
Yeah.
First train to Dunsville.
Yeah.
And you just got to say, can Cowboy stay out of the way? He's shown good movement.
He is probably one of the fastest I've seen.
When he fought Rick Story, god damn, that combo. He's shown that he can do it.
He can move.
He's got
that great lunge in.
Yeah.
It's
just keep your fucking chin down.
Yeah.
Keep your head out of the way, man, is what I would be saying to him. But now he has, an extra few weeks training after he gets better, so...
Yeah. It's I think he's going to be in good stead. It'll give him a good run for his money, but at the moment, I'm sort of leaning towards it'll probably be Lawler that takes it.
Yeah.
I think he's just so much better at taking that damage.
Yeah.
That it's really going to pay up.
But, if Cerrone cracks him, who knows? Because Cerrone
100%.
Bang.
It's completely unpredictable. You never know when someone's going to get that one significant strike that can turn everything around.
Just ask Jose Aldo. Let's go back to UFC 212.
Yeah, good mix.
What did you make of that fight? I thought it was
fantastic.
Really
I loved
fight.
It. It was my favourite title match in a long time.
Possibly already one of my fights of the year.
Yeah.
This early in.
Well,
7 months. Over halfway.
Nah, maybe Maya Masvidal would take it slightly for me, and
we'll wait until he fights Woodley, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So Aldo versus Holloway.
Now you were more going towards Aldo on this one, weren't you?
I was thinking Aldo had a pretty good puncher's chance.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. Because he's gonna have a good puncher's chance.
He was
the best champion we've ever had.
Exactly.
In the division,
Holloway had a lot of shit going for him.
Yeah. But he also had a lot more to lose.
He had a lot more to lose.
This is a much bigger blow.
He wasn't afraid to stay in trade. He wasn't afraid to stay in trade. He was taunting him at one point and then cracking him.
I know, but Max's taunts were so much better. At the end of the second round, he was really egging him on. And Aldo was coming out, he was fighting, he was hitting. It kind of reminded me... Even though... Because, to be honest, I scored the first 2 rounds easily to Aldo. He had done more significant strikes. Yeah. Yes, Holloway was getting some in, but, for the main part, it was being dominated and controlled by Aldo.
For sure.
But it reminded me a little bit of Muhammad Ali versus Quarry back in the day. Quarry was taking hit after hit after hit, but he was constantly returning. Now, the place it then differs is the person he was returning, Holloway, who was still striking heavy even after taking some big hits from Aldo. He obviously came into the 3rd round, he got the takedown, he almost got the rear naked choke, but Aldo just slightly sort of slipped out. But then he cracked him with that left overhand, got him to the ground, quick little ground and pound, and he was dominating. He was pounding him like a gorilla. Yeah. He was absolutely on top form, and it was absolutely fantastic to see. Points wise, Holloway was losing going into the 3rd round for me.
But a lot of people have pulled up the fact that Aldo wasn't using his kicks, which I didn't see. He wasn't siving in.
No, he wasn't.
Real big.
Which his camp have turned around and said he damaged his ankle a little bit. Which you can see. It's easy to turn your Achilles when you're training.
Yeah.
You're going in for.
But you say it when you've done it.
Yeah. Why not admit that before and.
It's like
it's not
Pacquiao against
but
Floyd.
I think if Aldo did have those leg kicks come into his into his range at that point, I don't think it would have done much.
Why?
Well, because
his kicks are king.
100%. But his inside leg kicks are the ones that are absolutely damaging, which take out your lead leg. Now Holloway, the whole way through that match, he was fighting in an orthodox stance. He was leading with his left leg. But Holloway is a southpaw fighter by trade. He specialises at the southpaw. He is destructive at the southpaw. He goes into orthodox when he's being defensive.
Right.
So what happens when Aldo then takes out his lead leg? He swaps to a southpaw stance. He gets his lead leg back in, and he's in his most dominant phase. He is currently in a position where he has more of his destructive power than he did before.
Because he's now in his
and it's tired
stance.
Aldo out massively by this point.
Because Aldo
I think even if Aldo had that, he would have been going for those leg kicks. Holloway would have switched to his dominant side and he would still want it. He was playing the tactics on this one and he played it perfectly.
Very good. Yeah, it was a very good tactical one. It was a very clever fight.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot up top. They'd obviously planned it to a T and it worked. And now we have another great champion.
Yeah, 100%. He's gonna have some really, really good defences.
Yeah, who would you put him against next? Just spitballing. Because there's been no rumblings.
Possibly. After the next one.
Yeah.
Because one UFC between their timetables are pretty much linked up, so we could see possibly the winner of the Pettis Miller match.
Yeah.
possibly taking on being Holloway's first title defense.
That's really good. Well, while we're setting up fights, there's some new fights been teased. We've got Manuwa fighting. We've got Genius and we have Jimi.
Oh, that's Ozdemir. That's the one. I can spell it. I can spell it perfectly. Can't say it for hell.
Here's what I think. I think if Manuwa beats him,
he's going to be going in for a title ship contention against John Jones. Yeah.
Beat DC.
Yes, mate. I've pulled the exact same. DC Jones is going to be absolutely phenomenal.
It's going to be the biggest fight of the year. In MMA.
In MMA, yeah. We're not taking into consideration boxing.
We have Ngao, is that how you spell his name? Say his name, versus Junior Dos Santos. Ngannou, yeah. Thanks for bellowing that in the mic.
Sorry.
So everyone listening on their earphones love that.
Ngannou
versus JDA.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Another great match. He's number 4 in the heavyweight at the moment. Junior Dos Santos number 3.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great one. Can I get those rankings confirmed?
Oh yeah.
Where is Ngannou in?
In fact, I can find that here.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Let's have a look. I got that here. Lauren's just thrown it up on the screen.
Oh yeah, 5th. Francis Ngannou, Junior Dos Santos 4th. So obviously Overeem is going against
Verdum.
Verdum. Yeah, that's the one.
Really Northern.
And then obviously the winner of that is they're sure in at the moment. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Alistair Overeem who's going to take it, and he's going to have his next shot at the belt against Stipe.
At which point, if he loses, Ngannou. God, I can't say that.
I think if Overeem lost another attempt at Stipe, we'd see him drop down the rankings pretty quick after that.
Ngannou?
No. Overeem.
Oh, right, yeah. What about Velasquez? What's the story?
Give Kane another shot. He's not fought in, a year and a half?
Why the fuck not? You'd sell paper.
Is he still
Kane Velasquez versus Stipe Miocic?
It would be fantastic, but obviously Velasquez has already beaten Miocic.
That's such a sexy fight. I want that to happen.
It is. I was going to say, Stipe has beaten Velasquez in the past. Am I right on that?
Oh yeah, Maia versus Woodley.
Yes. Maia's definitely deserving of a chance. He's a fantastic fighter. I've specified this on your show a couple of times at least. I'm a big fan. I love the way he fights. And Tyron Woodley, the last 2 matches we've had out of him, both the Wonder Boys, pretty boring, pretty standard.
Yeah.
Not much in it.
The second one much more so, yeah.
Yeah. It's a small fact that Woodley can sit and absorb damage like nobody else.
Yeah.
He just held himself in, struck when he needed to, was very, very conservative as far as I could tell.
Yeah.
But he won't be able to do that with Maia.
No.
I mean, Maia's going to slip past those guards like nothing.
He's much, much harder to hit. Although Jorge Masvidal gave him a good run for his money.
Well, it's hard to hit someone when they're wrapped around your neck and on your back.
Yeah.
And that's where he is. That's where he's comfortable. That's where he's always going to get you. And Woodley is going to want to attempt to take it to the ground if he can box him, because Maia is going to be, as far as I can tell, a lot faster. He's going to keep out of the way of him. He's going to be dipping in, wasting his energy.
Yeah.
Where, he's going to be wanting him to get a little bit lax, a little bit of tunnel vision, and he's going to scoop around his back and take that
Do you think he'll go for the submission?
Oh, 100%. That's what Maia specialises in.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of good knockouts.
I know, but
not massively, but he's
hit.
Usually decision or submission. And I'd love to. This could sound weird, but I'd love to see Tyron Woodley choked out.
I don't think he's a very good champion, Tyron Woodley. I think he's a great fighter. I just don't think he's a good champion.
No, he is the perfect contender.
Yeah.
He's the person that always keeps pressure on a champion.
Yeah.
And does take it, but then drops back down and just fights the next. I want to see people starting to do fight the person on the rung. Don't just try and go for a fight because it's going to make you a bit of money. You got a bit of beef on Twitter or something like that. Fight for what's right. We had a fight.
That's cool, man.
And it's kind of why the flyweight division isn't working quite so much as people want it to, because people are trying to get those fights, whereas Demetrius is pretty much just saying, if you're not top contender, why would I fight you? I'm not here to get a big purse
to stroke your ego.
You're a popular person and they want you to have a titleship belt. Yeah. I'm here to take the person who deserves a championship belt.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And I'm here to beat them down.
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you on that. I think that's exactly, and I think that would be more the case if there was more money available to fighters to pay them well enough. You know,
if you could guarantee a purse prize,
well,
people would be taking the fights that are deserved. And then, with that would then come the recognition that everyone would bring in those sort of bouts. Because they'll always be fighting someone who has fans, and, the popularity will swiftly change based on who puts on a good performance in that fight.
Yeah.
And then you're always sort of guaranteeing that you don't start losing people because the person they're following isn't getting a championship belt.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, talking about losing fighters and fighting against other organisations, I've become very increasingly aware of like Bellator and that, and Bellator are really on the up now. They just had an amazing card in New York City. We have a question from a listener.
Madison, yeah.
Harry on Facebook. Hi, Harry. He says Bellator NYC card versus UFC regional debates is a good regional cards. Excuse me.
Yeah,
is a good debate. I.e., he says Bellator competition is Bellator competition a threat versus UFC being complacent about their market share?
Yeah, well, what
punctuation, Harry. Jesus Christ, that was an absolute mouthful.
What we have to take into consideration, I think the ones they were comparing at that point was the Madison Square Garden Bellator, and a UFC on Fox Sports. It's not one of their. It's not their standard.
Silva, fucking Fedor was on there.
Yeah, I know, but it's not one of their standard sort of fight night big promotions, local cards. It's just on cable TV sort of thing. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to do big card sales at that point. They're just trying to do keep people interested and then tempt them to get. On the pay-per-views on the Saturday on the big match.
Bellator have got some really good fighters.
They have some fantastic fighters. They might even
Rory
have some
McDonald's still over there, isn't he?
Rory McDonald's still there. There's still
fucking
talk
Demetrius Johnson might be over there the way.
Yeah, I was going to say he has mentioned a couple of times that there are other promotions treating people better. There's a couple of others in the middleweight division that are trying to get off onto middleweight onto Bellator because they're not. Belfort might even potentially go. So Vitor Belfort, an absolute titan.
Fucking TRT his head off in Pride or Ryzen.
But Belfort is a titan of UFC. He's been there
pretty much
horrifically long time.
Beginning.
He's been there, I think 1999. Sorry about that. Always moving my leg, restless leg. But I think his UFC debut was 1999.
Yeah,
1997 possibly.
Yeah, he's really really
it was
old.
Maybe Marquardt was 1999.
When he looked like a lion.
There's literally 2 years between them. They had their debuts 2 years apart. Mm-hmm. There's 2 years age difference between them. And they have both become paramount people to fight.
There's no doubt that if Vitor Belfort went over to Bellator, I think that the UFC
you would see a big sway.
You'd
see a big sway.
Imagine if Mighty Mouse. What do you think the outcry would be if Mighty Mouse went over?
Not as much.
Bellator? No, neither do I. And that's a real shame. He's the best fighter ever.
He is the best champion we've ever had. He's had the most defenses. He's, I think, pretty much the only flyweight champion we've had. Mm-hmm. He is literally undefeated in his championship bout.
He's great.
And
who else would go over? They need to change the name. Bellator is a silly name.
Why? It's a great name.
No.
Bellator.
No, you got to. I was
going to say, as soon as you have it in Bristol, welcome to Bellator.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what is that? It's like you need to make it easy. UFC. What does that stand for? Ultimate Fighting Champion. Simple.
Cage Warriors. What do they do? They're warriors in a cage.
That's exactly the thing, though, isn't it? We're going to watch the football. And people say to me, when I say I'm doing this show, they say, do you like UFC? And I'm like, well, yeah, but what I'm actually like is mixed martial arts, MMA.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what's MMA? And I was like, oh, man, MMA is what they do in UFC.
Have you had that thing where someone who's trying to sound kind of cool to people, and he goes, yeah, man, I train in UFC.
Yeah, do you?
Dude, I totally train in UFC. I can do all the UFC stuff.
You trained at a gym where Connor maybe once stopped to take a leak or something. Well done. But what can I say? I don't fight. What is it they say? Always talk about fighters if they're 6 feet behind you. I would be down with that.
There was a couple of fighters I wouldn't mind having 6 feet behind me.
Oh, God.
No, nobody would ever mess with you. Think about it.
No, exactly, yeah, for sure.
You had an Overeem stood behind you, dear God.
Yeah, for sure. I'd run a mile at Overeem. So, let's stay with the Bellator for a minute. With the Bellator. Because this last event was the first one where I was really aware of the card. Like, you know how people outside...
On Spike TV and all that.
Well, yeah, but you know how people who weren't into the UFC organisation or weren't into MMA knew about Conor getting 2 belts.
Yeah.
There was articles on the fucking Daily Mirror and stuff like that
about
what this means, where he fights, why it's important, why it's controversial. And so it got through another market. Now I really followed the UFC for a long time, 18 months, really got deep into it in that 18 months. But Bellator has only come into my consciousness now, and it's stuff like, the viral marketing's really pitching good. Bellator have got some serious marketing budget, man.
Oh yeah,
it looks just as professional as UFC.
Their payments to fighters is massively important.
They look after people. What are their contracts
really
like?
Look after. I think their contracts on average, I think it's like 25-30% more. You're looking at getting,
really?
And
no, I mean the amount of fights under the umbrella of one contract.
I think you can still fight as much. You can fight as many as you want. I think you're not as limited as much. I think you can sort of. You're limited if you want the big budget fights, but if you want to go to some of their smaller sort of areas, you can fight when you want.
Justin, what's his name? Justin Gahaith? Is that his name? The guy that's just gone from UFC over Bellator. He's chosen. He's gone to Bellator over the UFC, and he thinks that's like the best thing in his career right now.
Yeah.
To pick the Bellator. I keep calling it the Bellator.
No, just Bellator.
Yeah. He says they treat people well. It's the stuff that we've seen from Demetrius Johnson. And another question, actually, we did get a question sent in, just regarding the way MMA generally as a sport treats its veterans. You look at something like football, and I measure it against football because that's the biggest sport in the world.
Yeah.
Sorry, it is. You just think, look at how someone like Steven Gerrard is revered over the way someone like Fedor is revered.
God.
And Fedor had a really rough time the other day when he fought. Do you know what I mean? And you get all these champions having to do really stupid stuff to keep themselves relevant. Keep themselves, put themselves in positions they don't want to be in terms of the fights they have to take to keep getting the paychecks.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think they do look after their veterans relatively alright. They have their Hall of Fame thing.
It is a hard sport.
They've just added sort of Sakuraba. They've added Maurice Smith, 2 people who were pretty much paramount in making MMA as successful as it was. They, first Japanese champion from Sakuraba. And they acknowledge those sort of people, and obviously that does come with, I'm sure, some form of financial aspect as well.
Yeah.
And it's, I think they because it's such a young sport. Yeah. That at the moment it's hard to acknowledge a lot of veterans because there aren't a lot of veterans that people knew back then that they still remember
exactly.
now.
And you look at again, I keep using Steven Gerrard because he's a club legend.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you follow football, but you're aware
you're
aware of who Steven Gerrard is. Been there since he was a kid. Played there, became captain. Anyway,
Liverpool.
He's revealed. He is revered, and his career, it took him like 20 years to get there. Conor is a legend of the sport, and he's been in it 3 years.
Yeah, but that's because it's such a young sport.
Mm-hmm.
That
and it's a sport
you can become a legend so quickly.
Yeah.
You're looking 20 years. You go back 20 years. UFC didn't exist as it exists now.
They were still wearing leather helmets like 6 years ago.
They were still wearing boots. You could still wear wrestling boots back in those days.
Yeah. Like the rash guards and shit.
Yeah, you could wear an outfit just because it matched. But nowadays, obviously, where people are taking up stuff like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you start wearing streamlined stuff that nobody's got any hold on you.
Yeah.
Then you're not going in wearing a gi all the time anymore because you're going to get messed up.
Going for that gi. Always go for the gi.
Always go for
Obviously,
the gi.
why else would they wear it?
And that's where it's stuff like you go back to the times of like UFC 2, where it was you had one person who specialised in something, no matter what weight class they were doing.
Yeah.
They specialised in this field. So you had like the Gracie brothers originally showed up there. And you had people doing like ninjutsu and specialists in taekwondo. God, it was a death match. It was literally you went in rungs, and by the end of the night they had someone who was best out of all of those.
Don't Bellator still allow soccer kicks?
Yes, they do.
Head stomps still?
Not head stomps.
No?
No.
But soccer kicks?
Yeah.
That's I don't know if I'm into that or not.
Contentious.
We'll break it down. What do you think?
I personally, for safety aspects, I would remove it from the sport.
Define soccer kick for people who don't know.
So it's a low swinging kick basically into someone's face when they're hands or chest or anything like that are already on the ground.
It's anything, isn't it? If you're lying down, you can get up from a ground and pound and boot someone in the head.
Yeah.
See, that I'm not okay with.
See, that's the thing. That's why for me it's just too much of a danger. You don't know it.
As you would kick a soccer ball.
You may potentially have someone who is on the cusp, or if not already gone, in terms of concussion. And
head.
Potentially the ref hasn't seen it, and you've basically snapped up and kicked them. That could cause a lot of detrimental damage.
Yeah.
So I think it's just too risky because there is too much damage that can be done from it.
Speaking of refs, Mario had a shocker.
Jose
versus Lee.
Yeah.
What'd you make of that? That was crazy.
I stand with Dana on a small fact that
not in a way you came out on Instagram, for fuck's sake. You're an adult.
But you have to trust the ref to make a choice. They've been doing it a long time, and potentially they might have seen something that the normal person cannot spot. It might be a slight twitch in a person that might indicate that they might potentially be in trouble, regardless of whether there's a tap or not. He's going to see accidents. That's the way it's written. He's going to see accidents happen, and he's going to want to avoid that. And he may have potentially seen something that could have justified a stop. I agree with most people. I didn't, but you've got to trust the ref.
Jesus, Chisea's come out and demanded that Yamasaki retire.
As a ref.
Jesus.
I wouldn't go that far.
After all the bad blood between him and Lee, I'd be pissed too if someone took that victory away from me.
I think, to be honest, this is going to be great publicity for them. They're going to be on the main card.
They're going to do a rematch, you think?
They're going to do a rematch, and it's going to be...
Yeah.
It's going to have that controversy backing it. I think there might potentially even be a little bit of play in that coming into this.
You think?
I don't want to say that, because that's basically saying the refs are rigged just to get, help the UFC get some... payments. I'm not even going to indulge that because
no, I don't.
Personally, I think that's. But it's just going to work out. They're going to work it very well.
You think?
Yeah. So I don't think any of them are going to lose out on this.
Okay. Well, I'm glad about that because it was a great fight up until then.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic.
It was a really good fight up until then.
As a first round, it was phenomenal. There was a lot of damage already taking place.
Yeah. What can you do, man? What can you do? What else we got to talk about? What else has happened? There's been so many fights announced. Everything seems to have moved
We've pretty much
quickly.
only done one of 212, haven't we?
Yeah, what else would you like to raise from 212?
Let's see what decent matches we had. So obviously we've done a bit on Belfort and Marquardt, which was, again, a phenomenal match in itself.
Really good fight.
Kowalkiewicz.
Go for it.
Women's strawweight. So obviously she fought against Jędrzejczyk at 205.
205.
Obviously ended up losing that one.
She did.
Was still a top contender. Went against Kadia.
Yep.
Now this is a good match for Kadia because she's already a number one contender. She's pretty much guaranteed the next fight against Jędrzejczyk.
Yep.
And it was her first finish of UFC. She's only ever won by decision so far.
Yeah.
And she actually managed. I hate saying she actually managed. It's a great thing to finally do that. She got the job done. And it was a perfect example of how to take someone's back and get them in that RNC and just finish a match quickly.
It was great.
It was a fantastic match. But, not taking anything away from Kowalkiewicz, she was on good form. She was really, really strong in her striking. For a bit.
Yep.
Some really good combos, good strong rights. But, yeah, she unfortunately took it to the ground and couldn't follow it up. She was going for the takedowns for a while.
It was a great choke. It was really good, really good, really well got.
Yeah, because she didn't quite have her under the chin. She was sort of down on the chest, but she managed to get her legs round, go for that full, and just stretch her out, and just drag that arm under the neck, and it was a perfect example.
For sure.
Great fight.
Yeah, really good fight. Yeah, anything else on 212 that caught your eye?
No, we've covered pretty much all of Holloway. There was a couple of decent lower matches, which I would highly recommend people check out. They've released a couple of them for free on the UFC channel. Bam Boshe was on there.
Yes.
Barashenko. Decent fight again.
Ben 10 had a great fight.
Yeah.
Very recently.
Yeah.
Just remembered that. Yeah, good for him. He's really, really getting really good. Getting a real head of steam. I really like him.
100%. He's definitely going to be in some good rankings soon.
For sure.
He's going to be a name known.
I think so. He's a very approachable character in terms of branding wise.
Yeah.
Mixed race, but American. He is. That plays well. It hits two demographics. I think if you have to sell him as a fighter.
No.
Which you have to do. There's a reason that everyone knows Connor's from Ireland.
He's cocky, he's arrogant, and people like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. Are we good to wrap it?
What do you mean?
The show. Are we good to wrap it?
Yeah. I'm happy to
wrap it. Well, I'll tell you here's how we can close. We can talk about Rob's got his own show coming up. Wow,
it's just
tell us about that, brother.
It's just a bit of a pipe dream at the moment. I'm talking to some people, getting someone involved, and it's going to be
taking some names, see?
Kicking ass and taking names.
Exactly.
But potentially.
So what are you going to be doing? What are you going to be doing on your show?
Well, it's going to be a podcast. It's going to be MMA based. We're going to look at stuff like Bellator. We're going to look at lower rung stuff locally, such as Cage Warriors or some white collar MMA that you sort of see quite often, even into the lines of boxing. There's this really cool sport over in Russia where they have like people in full armour and swords, and talk about that. It's basically going to be any cool combat sport that we've been and seen over that week.
Fighters are going to be coming on as well,
hopefully. Oh my god.
There we go. You just mentioned boxing.
Oh, you want to do Conor, don't you?
I want to do Conor.
Well, we know you want to do.
Do you think
Conor? You've talked about him a lot. It's weird.
Do you think he has a chance?
Yes.
Why?
He's a great counter fighter. He does have a very, very strong left, and I've seen some of his training videos. He has a pretty damn strong right as well. He's very, very fast. He could potentially sway Mayweather, and if he gets lucky, I think he could potentially. Don't like saying it, but he could potentially own him. But for me, that's only a small potential.
Because
Mayweather is the greatest middleweight boxer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He is amazing. And yes, you can point out that Conor is a great counter fighter, but Mayweather is a fantastic counter fighter.
Well,
he doesn't have the best power, but dear God, he will catch you when you lose suspect.
Anthony Yard, thanks for producer Lauren throwing that up. He said that because Conor boxes like a freak, orthodox with a huge left.
That's the thing. It's going to be.
He could be he's a hard person to imitate when you're looking for sparring partners in training.
100%. But Mayweather, you can easily get a counter fight. Well, not a counter fighter of his level, but you can get a
counter fighter, is he?
No.
He
is a fantastic in-fighter, but he's got a powerful little jab. He's not got the power behind him as such.
Yeah.
But like I said, he will catch you at just the right moments. His timing is
precision
impeccable.
Beats power, that's his mantra.
His timing is impeccable.
Yeah. So, most of the world thinks Floyd potentially going to win.
There is a lot of backing for Conor there, and again, I can see why people could justify it, but personally, I can't.
No, I'm still going to put 20 quid on him to win.
I'm going to put 20 quid on him using a kick.
What? Just cause?
Just cause.
You were...
Like I said, it's if he knows he's not going to win at some point. I just want to see Floyd get battered.
Yeah. Conor's a much nicer guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Outside the sport, hate to say it, allegedly we have to say that, but Floyd's not very nice to women.
I don't have to say allegedly, I can say what go on.
Fuck's sake, man. Don't get us pulled off the air.
I haven't said it though, I've only implied that I would say it.
You may have thought it. So yeah, I think Conor's got a chance. I think it's probably going to be, like 80% to Mayweather likely chance of victory.
Yeah.
But I don't give a shit. I think it's
that's a good 20% to have.
And do you know what? I think in the end the real winner is MMA. Because a lot of people will be asking, oh, so I know Floyd's a boxer, but what's MMA? Where does Conor fight usually? Why is there all this trouble? UFC. Here's the UFC and here's MMA.
And this is why it's better than boxing.
Yeah, exactly. I think it is more. I've said it before, and I'm not saying it to be cool. I think it's a more engaging watch than boxing, purely because you can do more, and the fighters have to be more proficient. You're always going
to be a bit more surprised.
Yeah.
With boxing, you know how it's going to end.
Someone's got punched.
Whereas with this, someone could get choked out, they could get kneed in the face,
they
could take an elbow to the chest and just cave it in.
We haven't seen a good flying knee for a while.
Yes, we have.
Go on.
Chris Weidman, Yoel Romero.
Oh, yeah, that was a little while ago, though.
Dear God. And then obviously Holly Holm, just because we're sort of talking decent knockout right now, Holly Holm with that question mark kick to the right upper.
The other goal.
Man.
That girl she was fighting, she literally asked for it. She was taunting her.
Yeah.
And then...
And it's great for Holly Holm. She's coming off a free loss streak now.
Yeah, she lost to Durandamy after the bell.
Yeah.
Dandertown frolics in that shit, man. And now Durandamy's a bit of a pariah at the minute.
Lost the belt, and
division's folded because there's no one in it.
No, there is. There's a championship belt already arranged at 215, 214 possibly. Yeah, 214 actually, because there's three belts on contention here at 214.
Which ones are those?
Give me a second. So there's the ladies light.
Yeah.
The welterweight. And John Jones DC.
That's going to be an incredible night. I'm just looking at something Lauren's just thrown up on the screen. Thousands of fans could attend the Mayweather-McGregor fight. It's expected to be a free event. What the fuck? That's not...
unless they've already made that 180 mil just on sponsorship.
Nothing in... Yeah, but then what's Floyd going to say? Oh yeah, no thanks, I don't want another £100 million. That's not true. BBC Sport, where are you getting that from? We'll link that. That is fucking bizarre. How can that possibly be true?
Conor McGregor is set to begin
Unless...
A tour at Wembley Stadium. So basically they're going to fight once and they're going to keep fighting at tours. This is just a promotion. It's just a promotion.
That is nuts.
What am I thinking? So you're just going to meet them and hear them talk. It's going to be a press conference.
Fuck for that. I was like, what the fuck? How can that possibly be true?
It does say prior to promote their Las Vegas fight.
I mean, how do you make money on that? It's all sponsors and advertising, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there are worse ways to go. That's the way sport's going.
Well, there's a lot of fake tickets already being sold for that as well.
Yeah, and people have had to come out. Dana White's come out on Twitter and Instagram and said, don't buy tickets, they're not real, we haven't released them. I'm getting my cut.
I think anyone was stupid to think those tickets were legit.
And you're just not... Us pros aren't going to get tickets. They're all going to be corporate tickets.
Yeah.
And 90% of them are going to be empty.
They're going to do probably like a Make-A-Wish. They'll get one.
No, it's true. And they do sell them off to charities, don't they? And they give them to charity and whatever else. Okay, we can wrap there. It's been great having you on.
Absolutely fantastic.
Really looking forward to hearing your show, man.
Like
where
I said,
can people find it? Where will people be able to find it?
I'll probably do SoundCloud and YouTube like yourself, because there will be some visual elements that I'll be using. Show you some stats and graphs that I like making.
Cool.
It's just going to be me with like an overhead projector.
Nice.
Yeah, not really.
We are here. Well, cool. Well, we'll look after that, and we'll look out for that. Like, listen, share, subscribe. This has been Thinking Out Loud. Thank you very much for listening.